right. The Google Pixel series, the new Pixel 9 series, is launching next week, and we need to talk. Like, what is going on with the design? Now, Google Pixel phones have been notoriously leaked for weeks, even months before they launch, and this year was no different. We started seeing renders of the device months ago, and Google even officially confirmed the renders and the design like over a month ago. So we know what's coming. And what is going on? Call me crazy, a hot take, maybe even a warm take, but they look ugly. I mean, they look gross. Like, why is it Google and Samsung and others that you have to follow the trend that Apple sets? Like, why do you have to do whatever Apple does? You're never going to sell a billion phones, okay? Number one. And number two, not everybody likes what Apple does, all right? You want to sell something, be different. Don't be the same, because people have what Apple has. They don't want that. They want something different. You want to pull people away from Apple? Do something different. Okay, so here's where I'm going with this. When Apple launched the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 series last September, they went with a more boxy, squared off design. Now, that wasn't the new. They did that with like the 13, I think, the 12 or the 13, but they went with titanium and they made it even more boxy looking, and just a kind of this trend of sharp corners, right? Apple brought it back. They did it with the iPhone 4, the iPhone 4S, the iPhone 5, and then with the iPhone 6, they went to the curved edges that were blissfully wonderful to hold in the hand, and they felt so good. Why do we feel like we need to jab people in the hands whenever they hold their phone? I mean, am I the only one who feels this way? I can't be, right? So Apple does their thing with the iPhone 15 Pro series and all that jazz. And then good old Samsung, who can't be left alone to have an original thought in their brains, decided to just copy them, right? Because that's what they do. Yes, it runs Android, but Samsung, do something different, will you? Like, the Ultra, that's cool. The folds are cool, but you pioneered it, and then you just didn't do anything to. Okay, I'm getting off track. That's another video. Anyway, when the S24 series came out earlier this year, of course Samsung copies Apple and does the more boxy design and goes back to the sharp square corners, which nobody asked for. Nobody asked for. Nobody also asked for a thinner iPad, Apple. Nobody did. Nobody. But again, that's another video. All I'm saying is this trend of sharp corners on phones is ridiculous. Why do you feel like you have to copy Apple? Because not only did you make sharp corners, you made it ugly, Google. Like the Pixel, call me crazy, the Pixel 9 phones, they look ugly. I mean, the camera bar on the back was always a bit divisive, you know, but it identified you and it made a statement and you made it look cool. And now you gone and you made it look like you took the back of the phone and the camera bump and just glued it together. That's literally what it looks like. And you can't be bothered to make an original appealing design. It's just, I'm sorry, I am not at all excited about the design of the Pixel phones. And if Google I/O is anything to go off of, there's not even going to be anything different. The only thing new or different, besides a little bit of hardware tweaks and maybe a different little aspect ratio on the Pixel Fold, is going to be AI, which again, nobody asked for and nobody cares about. Call me crazy. I'm probably going to make another video about that as well. I got opinions. Have you noticed? I have opinions. So I hope you're here for them, because that's what I'm going to talk about. But anyway, getting myself distracted. See, you get me all worked up. You get me all excited. You get me all just in my head about this stuff. So, for the first time in maybe 2 or 3 years, I'm not excited about the Pixel lineup. I have zero interest. I'm not going to spend any money on one. If somebody lets me borrow one or Google decides to send me one because they want me to look at it, fine, great, I'll do that. But I'm not going to spend any money on it. If one of you wants to send me one to review it, to look at it, and I send it back to you, that's fine. I'll do that too. But I'm not going to buy one. I have zero interest in AI. I have no interest in any of that whatsoever. There are a few, maybe couple possible exceptions for that, which I will talk about in another video if you want me to. But the way all the AI features that Google's trying to throw at us, it feels like Samsung, guys. It feels like when Samsung just packed everything they could possibly think of into our phones and expected us to want it. And nobody asked for it. So, all that to say, Pixel design does not look exciting to me. I'm not excited about it. But that's what we're going to get. Maybe they'll change my mind next week. 13th is when the announcement is. Maybe they'll change my mind. I don't know. I'm not expecting much. But stranger things have happened. Thanks for listening.